4 days of riding in July 2008 from Gallup to Antelope Wells, the Colorado border, and back to Gallup. This vista overlooks the entire trip south to the Mexican border that I was going to take. My first stop was Salt Lake, which is a sacred lake for the Zunis. Had to stop for this one, and it's almost lunch on the first day. This is Highway 32 from Quemado to Reserve. These curves were great, but I wasn't there yet. This is looking into the Gila National Forest, and I'd see plenty of those clouds and rain later on. First day, first bit of rain, and onto the dirt. This is my first near wipeout. You can see I go almost into the sand and then wipe out. This road was great, all kinds of great scenery in there. Outside of Lordsburg, I did a 360 because the view was so wide open and amazing. This is what the West is all about. This is outside of Lordsburg, where I would fuel up and then head on down to the Coronado National Forest, where I would make camp for the first night. The next picture that you're going to see is me at that camp on the next day, where I would head to Antelope Wells. This is day 2, and it started off with some great views in this ancient old house that I had to take some pictures of. Then we got going down some roads that were so much easier to travel now that they weren't full of rain and mud, and I wasn't sliding on it. By 11:20 on the second day, I'd made it to Antelope Wells and the Mexican border, and would start heading north to cover the ground on the Great Divide Trail, heading north and going to cover as much of that on dirt as possible. It was nice to be out of the rain in the morning. This was an awesome road that was graded just recently. In fact, I saw the grader on the way up, and it connects Separ to Highway 90, and from there I got into Silver City by some hardball. After going through Membris and fueling up in Silver City, I got onto Forest Road 150. Was just incredible, incredible road. Way down there is my campsite for the second night, and it would be wet too because I would run into a lot of rain. That's where I camped out for the second night. This is well into day 3 after going through Pie Town and getting some pie there and some breakfast. And this great road was on the Band of Craters Trail, which was fantastic to drive on. After refueling in Grants, we scaled Mount Taylor, which is right there in the rearview mirror, and came back down through San Mateo and hit some super dirt trails that led us all the way to Cuba. The dirt roads from San Mateo all the way to Cuba were fantastic, and just worth doing again and again. And I had such an impressive view right here. I did a 360. Right after this patch and going down these roads, I ended up hitting some mud, and that was not fun before I got into Cuba. This is my 3rd night's camp in the Santa Fe National Forest outside of Cuba. These trails were amazing also. saw way more cows on this trip than I did other motorcyclists or bicyclists. This fawn apparently had been abandoned. Fourth day I came out in Abiquiu, and that's the mission there. It was 1,500 miles to do this entire trip from Gallup down to the Mexican border, back up to the Colorado border, and I'd say about 600 miles of that for sure were on dirt. What a great trip.